Prison gangs, the untold stories of power and control. Inside these walls, a silent war rages, a war that most people outside these gates will never truly understand, where the prison's bars are not the only form of control, where power is not measured by the number of guards, but by the size of a man's influence. Prison gangs, brutal, secretive, and often more powerful than the prison authorities themselves. In these dangerous subcultures, survival depends on loyalty, fear, and strength. For decades, the true stories of these gangs have been buried deep inside the prison system. Stories of power, betrayal, and control. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and reveal the untold stories behind the prison gangs. Stories that will shock you. Stories you'll never forget. In every corner of the yard, from the darkest cells to the bustling mess halls, there are whispers. Whispers of power. It's not the guards who run the show. It's the men who know how to wield power with a subtle hand. They don't make their moves loudly. No, these men rule through influence, intimidation, and sometimes violence. This is where the real control is forged. In moments like these, when a gang leader meets with his lieutenants, negotiating for influence, survival, and territory. But every empire has its origin story, and for some it begins the moment they set foot inside. But this isn't just about surviving the system, it's about taking it over. The prison system is designed to maintain order, to control chaos. But within these walls, chaos is what the gangs feed on. They have their own set of rules, and breaking them can cost you your life. When a man is thrown into solitary, he's not just punished for his actions, he's removed from the game. But even in isolation, power finds a way to seep through the cracks. From the highest-ranking gang leaders to the lowly, and soldiers, every move counts. Every whisper, every glance, every action holds the weight of life or death. Loss is a constant companion in prison. But in the world of gangs, it's more than just personal grief. It's a power vacuum. And in the absence of a leader, the struggle for dominance begins. In the harshest of environments, new recruits are forged. They enter with nothing but the clothes on their backs and the hunger to survive. But that hunger, it doesn't go unnoticed. Flashback sequence. The rise of a gang leader. At first, he's just another face in the crowd. But prison is a crucible, and only the strongest survive. This young man, he learned fast. Too fast. He went from prey to predator in a matter of months. In prison, loyalty is everything. But it's loyalty built on fear. And fear? Fear can be a powerful weapon. This room is where decisions are made. Not by the warden, not by the guards, but by the ones who control the money, the drugs, and most importantly, the fear. Here, in the depths of this concrete jungle, allegiances are forged and broken, and every man in this room is vying for control. The Phantom, a man whose name alone sends a chill down the spine of every inmate here. He didn't rise through the ranks with brute strength. No, he rose with something far more dangerous: intelligence. He understood the true currency in prison: control over information. In the beginning, he was invisible, a shadow in the background. But as he observed, he saw what others overlooked. Prison wasn't just about strength. It was about alliances, manipulation, and above all, timing. He knew the guards were just as much a part of the game, and so he made his deal with them, an unspoken agreement to look the other way in exchange for small but significant favors. With one hand in the world of inmates, and the other in the hands of the prison audit, Herides, he was untouchable. This was no longer about survival. This was about total domination. Every corner of this prison, every resource, every movement was under his control. And anyone who opposed him, they didn't last long. The cycle begins again. A new recruit enters, unaware of the complex web of power that controls every inch of this place. For him, it's a simple matter of survival. But for others, it's a matter of asserting dominance. This is how the game works in the world of prison gangs. Big Rick, a man whose name is synonymous with violence. He's a beast, but more importantly, he's a force that demands respect. But respect isn't given here. It's earned, and it's earned with blood. In prison, the yard is more than just a place to exercise. It's a battleground. And in this war, allegiances are everything. You align yourself with the right faction and you stand a chance at surviving. But choose wrong, and you might as well be signing your own death warrant. For this young recruit, his first decision will define the rest of his time here. Will he kneel to Big Rick, the brute force that rules with fear? Or will he bend the knee to the professor, whose intellect and manipulation are far more dangerous than any physical strength? Big Rick represents the old guard, the muscle. But the professor, he represents a new kind of power, one that isn't forged in sweat and blood, but in manipulation and strategy. In the end, it's not the strongest who survives, but the smartest. The power struggle between these two men has been brewing for years. One leads with violence, the other with cunning. But in this world, violence is often just a tool to assert control. And when the stakes are high, neither side is willing to lose. The young recruit's fate is sealed, but his story is just beginning. And as he steps into the world of manipulation, deceit, and power struggles, he'll soon learn the true meaning of survival. But not all power struggles are fought with fists or strategies. Some are fought with something far more dangerous: loyalty. And in prison, loyalty is a commodity that is bought with blood. The power struggles, the loyalty, the control, all of it continues behind these walls, hidden from the world outside. But these untold stories are just the beginning. To learn more about the complex world of prison gangs and their untold histories, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. The real stories are just getting started.